Welcome to Classroom Idaho, Learn at Home, a partnership of the Idaho State Board of Education, the Idaho Office for Refugees and English Language Center, Projects of Janus, and Idaho Public Television.
Like there's any, I mean, that's a gelatinous mass, like.
Are we excited or what? See you back here accepting your degree one day very soon. So thank you for making this happen.
Hi, everybody. My name is Noah Mendenhall, and I am an admissions advisor with Idaho State University. Here today to give you folks a little bit of information on how to go through the application process, what we might need for that, and then also to give you a little bit of information on next steps towards registration and attending classes in the fall. So happy to be able to help with that. The first thing that we're going to need to do is apply. And so the way that we're going to do that is by going through the website. So isu.edu. And then from there, there's a handy button right at the top of the website. It says apply. Go ahead and click that. Now, there are different student types here, but we are going to be focusing on undergraduate students. So we're going to click apply here. We're going to create an account. There's also some information here. If you have any upfront questions, feel free to browse that. But we'll go to create an account. Now, if you have an account with ISU from registering for a campus visit or maybe doing some early college classes, you're going to use that same account. But if you haven't ever created an account with ISU, you are going to go ahead and do so now. Now, a few things that it's important to know: unless you are an international student, you're going to want to select no here. Fill out this information, which is also going to go directly into the application. So really easy process there. A Bengal-bound transfer student is going to be somebody that's transferring from a community college in the state of Idaho. So if you are going to be transferring, you can go ahead and select yes, otherwise no. And unless you are a transfer student, you're going to go ahead and select no for having attended college after high school. The other thing here to remember is that you want to select I give consent, not I do not give consent, and not both of them. So just one or the other. Now I'm going to go ahead and go back and sign in to my own account here. And you'll get a confirmation email once your account's been created, and you can come back and sign in. And so once we're signed in, we can go to apply online here. We're going to start a new undergraduate application. Entry term, fall 2020, or whatever fits best for you. Student type, you're going to find the one that fits you, but we're going to go ahead with freshman for this one. Academic program, we're going to go ahead and select biology, bachelor's of science, and then we're going to select a biomedical sciences concentration. Now, once you're in the application, this first page here is basically going to be all that information that you already provided when you're creating your account. So you can double check that it's correct, but everything should be right. There's a few things here, a few different categories of information to fill out, but one that most students find difficult is residency questions. So we'll go ahead and go over there. This is going to ask you your state of residency, county of residency for Idaho residents, as well as how long you've been in that county. But some of the questions that can trick up students when it comes to residency, especially, are these first two. So the first question is asking if you can say yes to both parts. There's two parts. The first part is, have your parents been living in Idaho for more than 12 months as Idaho residents? So that's part one. And the second part is, do you receive more than 50% of your financial support from them? So if you can say yes to both of those, then you're going to go ahead and select yes. And then the second question is, I receive less than 50% of my financial support from parents or legal guardians. So if you said yes to the first question, you have to say no to the second. There are some other residency questions here, but they usually don't trick up students as much as those first ones. On the last page, the certification and signature page, we're going to have a few things that can confuse students. The first one we want to do is say yes to all of these certification questions. That way we can process your application. Once again, making sure that we only have I give consent, not I do not give consent selected, so that we can process the application. And then at the bottom there, application payment options. And so you're going to open that up and select the one that works best for you. For this, we would select new freshman. It's important to know that new incoming freshmen that have graduated from an Idaho high school do not have to pay an application fee. You'll receive a code to have that application fee waived on the next page. And Bengal-bound transfer students also do not have to pay an application fee. That'll be waived as well. So once we have the whole application done, there's no writing required. It's very simple. Shouldn't take any more than 15 minutes to do. We'll hit submit. And that should take care of the application. Now, there are a few things that we're going to need for the application to be processed, and so we can admit you. The biggest thing right now is going to be your high school transcripts. We are currently accepting unofficial high school transcripts due to COVID-19 for admissions purposes. So if you're having a hard time working with representatives of your high school to get those transcripts, we can't accept unofficial ones for the moment. But it is very important to remember that you send your official final high school transcripts to us so that we can distribute financial aid for you for the fall semester. And so important not to forget that. SAT and ACT scores, while we will still accept them, the requirement for those test scores has been waived for fall 2020 and spring 2021 while we are waiting for students to have the opportunity to take those standardized tests again. So that's what we need for the application. Once you've submitted your application, you're going to receive an email confirming that. And then you'll also receive an email stating your decision once a decision has been made on your application. And then from there, we're going to be mostly concerned about next steps. So if we're going back to isu.edu, the home page, we can click on admissions here. And then we have next steps right here and a really nice guide to what are the important things that I need to take care of now that I've been admitted. So step one, the deadline for accepting scholarships already passed. So we're going to go ahead to step two. Claim your Bengal web account. This is very important. Once you've been admitted, you should also receive an email asking you to claim your Bengal web account. The subject of the email is claim your ISU account. Bengal web is pretty much the online hub for the university and where almost everything that you're going to do after this takes place. So really important to go ahead and get that set up. If you do have any questions or concerns or any issues, you can contact the tech help desk right here. There's the phone number. Remember, like I said earlier, to send your final high school transcripts to us. Very important. Once your diploma, your graduation has been posted on your transcripts, that we get those. If you have taken any dual credit or concurrent enrollment classes from other schools in the state of Idaho, you will want to go on their website and request that they send transcripts to us so that we can have those, get them articulated, and that you can get credit for those classes that you took while in high school. The next thing that you're going to want to do after you have your Bengal web set up is go to the University Resources tab and complete 2 pre-orientation modules. First one is going to be this pre-orientation for freshmen and transfer students. It's essentially just going to run down the process of registering for classes, some basics about coming to school, how many credit hours it'll take to get a bachelor's degree, just some important things to know while you're coming in. And then the second part of it is ISU Safe Colleges for freshmen and transfer students. So you want to complete both. And then after you've completed that, you can actually, for step 7, RSVP for new student orientation, which is mandatory for incoming students. The link is right below the orientation modules, so you can go ahead and take care of that. Now, once you've completed your modules, you're good to go as far as registering for classes. And so there's a nice link right here on the Next Steps website for our academic advising office. And so this is the website for Central Academic Advising, but if you go to make an appointment right here, you can see all of our academic advisors broken down by college or maybe major. And there's an option to make an appointment as well as some contact information for all of them. So definitely reach out to them, make an appointment so you can get some help registering for your courses. And if you have any issues with that, we're happy to help you get connected with the proper academic advisor. Going back to our next steps, in Bengal Web under the University Resources tab, you can also apply for housing. So if you're planning on or wanting to live in university housing, then you can do so, fill out the application from the link on Bengal Web. If you're wondering what the housing options are going to be, not familiar with them, you can go ahead and click that link, and there is a little tour right here to show you the different residence halls we have on campus and show you what the room types are, things like that. So that's a nice resource for you as well. Now, we do have something called the Bengal Online Scholarship System, a place where students can pretty much find all of our on-campus scholarship opportunities. So after you've gotten your Bengal web set up, I would also encourage you to go to the Student Finance tab and find the link to Bengal, or the link to the Bengal Online Scholarship System. You can go ahead and log in there, and then you'll use the same information for Bengal Web and see if there's some more scholarship opportunities for you to apply for. Now, that's a resource that you'll use all your time at ISU, not just your while you're coming into the university as a first-time student. It's something that you can use throughout your time at ISU because there are other scholarships that are going to open up in that system as well. Then last but not least, if you do have any other questions, any concerns, more specific questions, we do have a link right there at the end to our admissions advising staff.
Hi everybody, my name is Rosita Navarrete. I am one of the enrollment specialists over at Lewis Clark State College, and today I'm actually going to be going over our application process and talking to you about the steps that you can take to submit an application for LC State. So very first thing that I did was I went to lcsc.edu. This is going to be our main website where students can find all of the information about our programs, admissions, financial aid, student life, things like that. Once you're here, on the very upper right-hand corner is going to be that Apply tab, which will take you to this screen right here. So once you're here, you are going to want to go ahead and select the type of student that you are. So whether you're a first-year student, if you're a first-year student who maybe applied through Apply Idaho, if you're a transfer student, if you're a returning student, non-degree seeking, or even international student, there's going to be a tab for you. Very bottom, there is one for our already admitted students. So if you've already submitted your application and would like to know what your next steps are, go ahead and click this one, and it's going to go into detail. It's going to go into some detailed information. We are going to go ahead and click on first year student, mostly because this is the most common type of student that we do get here at LC State. And once we're here, there's going to be some different tabs that students will have a chance to check out. The visit one, if you want to schedule a campus tour, there's one for requesting information, and the application one. Before I go into the application one, I do want to mention that LC State's admissions process is a 3-step process. The very first one is submitting your application. The second one is submitting your test scores, whether it's ACT or SAT test scores. It might be a little bit different if you're going into a career technical program. You might have some opportunity to submit different placement exams, but we can definitely go into that if you have questions as well. And then third step to completely submit your application is to submit your official transcripts. For first year students, your official transcripts are going to include your most recent high school transcripts. If you've taken dual credits or college credit courses throughout your time in high school, make sure you send us those as well, but they're not going to affect your admission status at the moment. Once everything is submitted, you are going to hear back within about a week or 2 weeks, depending on the time of year. Sometimes during the year, it can be a little bit busy, so it might take a little bit longer, but most of the time it's within about a week or 2 that students hear back with their admission status. So with the application process, this one's kind of unique. Students, once you click apply, it's going to take you to beawarrior.lcsc.edu, and this is where students are going to want to create an account. If you've already created an account, you can use your email and password to go ahead and log into that. But if you have not, if this is your first time going to this website, make sure that you create your account where you include your contact information. Parent information is if you would like to have them get information sent as well. There's some enrollment information which asks, when you would like to start at LCSC, what program you want to go into, what type of student you're going to be, and then at the very bottom, you're going to create your password. Once all of this is submitted, go ahead and hit create account, and this will give you access to our application. I do want to stress that this part right here is not the application. This is just a chance for you to create your account so that you can have access to the online application. So once that's done, click apply online, and it will take you back to the main page where you can log in using the same credentials that you just created. And you will go ahead and get a chance to complete the application. The application for LCSC only takes about 10 to 15 minutes and is completely free, so you're not losing any money by submitting your application. If you just want to submit it, if you're applying to different schools, go ahead and submit your application. If you would like more information and would like to see what we offer. So do you want to go over a couple more things? One of them is this Be a Warrior tutorials that kind of goes over step-by-step the entire application process, how to create your account. For those of you who might have some trouble or would like to see kind of what it looks like before going into it, there's a section for how to upload supplemental items and one for resetting your password. So if you're having any trouble, I recommend definitely checking these out just in case. And the very last thing that I do want to go into is recursos adicionales. This is our Spanish. This is our Spanish information page where we went ahead and translated some information for Spanish-speaking families. So if for students who have parents who might feel a little bit more comfortable reading the information in Spanish, this is going to be the page that you want to direct them to. Very top, it's got some basic information about LCSC. There's some facts about Lewis Clark State College. There's information about cost of tuition. There's information about admissions requirements. And down below, there's some frequently asked questions. This is probably my favorite part just because it goes a little bit more in depth, including like financial aid and other things. So feel free to check that out if you need those additional resources. I do want to mention also, my contact information is located right here on the right-hand side. I am the bilingual representative within our admissions office. So if you are looking to chat with someone in Spanish or need some help with translating some information, let me know. I can definitely help you with some of that stuff as well. But with that, that is all that we have in regards to our admissions process. So just to recap, the admissions process with Lewis Clark State College is a 3-step process where you will want to make sure that you complete your application, create your account on Be a Warrior. You are going to want to submit your test scores and your high school transcripts. For transfer students, you're going to want to submit any and all previous college transcripts that you may have had as well. So any questions, our admissions office is always there to help. You can send us an email or give us a call anytime. So muchas gracias a todos por escuchar nuestra información sobre Lewis Clark State College. Estamos aquí para servirles a todos. So favor de contactarnos con cualquier pregunta que tendrán sobre el colegio. Gracias.
Hi, my name is Nate Jansen, and I'm an admissions counselor at Northwest Nazarene University in Nampa, Idaho, and I'm going to quickly show you how to apply on our website and get started on your exploration of Northwest Nazarene University. If you go to nnu.edu, you'll find our homepage that looks just like this. Before you begin your application, you may want to look at what majors we offer to see what is the right fit. You'll be able to see a page like this and even look into more details about our particular programs before you start. When you're ready to get started on your application itself, click the Apply button right here in the corner, which will take you to this page. We have more than one application. If you are a student that will be readmitting into NNU because you've been to NNU before, you'll want to use this one instead. But for now, in this tutorial, I'm going to show you your first time to NNU as an undergraduate student. Click Apply Now, and it'll guide you through some instructions on how to set up your login information for your application and your status page going forward. You'll even receive an email right then allowing you to activate your account with this link and your PIN. Once you're in, you'll see the application looks much like this. November 15 will be our fall 2021 early action date. That will be the deadline to meet for early acceptance notification. And if you are accepted by that deadline, then you may also receive a thing called a Hawk Box, which brings some fun to your acceptance notification. Clicking the Continue button will be the best way to work through each of these important tabs. A couple important notes: education history. Make sure to list every school that you have credit through. Even if you're still in high school and you have dual credit, list the other colleges right there. In the financial aid tab, I highly recommend clicking yes for do you want to complete the FAFSA. NNU wants to help you look at every option for financial aid, and completing the FAFSA will help do just that. You will also want to enter your social security number. If you don't know right now, that's okay. You have a way to enter it later on, but we will eventually want to know that if we're going to be receiving your FAFSA. If you wanted a close look into freshman scholarships and so on, it's linked right here. You'll click continue all the way through until you get to the review page at the end. If there are any missing details for your application, errors will pop up here letting you know where those are so you can fix them before you hit submit. Once you submit your application, it'll take you immediately to a page that you may become familiar with later on. This is a checklist that you can always return to stay on top of all things coming towards NNU. Right now, as I am pretending to be a senior in high school planning to attend NNU, I need to get my transcript from my high school as well as my standardized test. For your transcript, you can either request it from your school or upload it right here. For your test score, you can request it on the website, act.org, sat.org, or collegeboard.org, I mean. Or you can get a screenshot or downloaded digital copy of the score and email it to your admissions counselor. And you can see, you can even enter your social security number right there if you didn't do it earlier. Once you've completed that, we will get you swift notice of your acceptance decision, and we'll guide you through the rest of the process. For most students, it's figuring out how to pay for NNU. So you may want to get a jump start on that from our website as well. I recommend the resources found under undergraduate right here in the admissions section. You can see tuition and financial aid, and that's a good place to begin. For example, there's a $10,000 to $16,000 per year academic scholarship that students are automatically reviewed for based off of the application you just witnessed. It's based on your SAT or ACT score and your cumulative GPA in high school. Please let us know how we can help you continue exploring NNU, and go Nighthawks.
In this brief tutorial, I'm going to walk you through the steps to apply to NIC online. It's best to use the Chrome web browser on a computer for this process. Open the browser, type in www.nic.edu/apply now. Click on Create Account underneath the words Sign In. Fill in your information. When you get to entry term, select what semester you would like to begin at NIC. Then select what academic program or major you want to start in. This can be changed at any time. Finally, choose a password to finish creating your account. Click I'm Not a Robot, and then click on Create Account to move to the application. At the top of your screen, click Apply Online. Select the top option that says Start a New Degree-Seeking Student Application. Make sure the entry term and academic program you want are selected. If you do not see the program you are interested in, such as nursing, just select General Studies. You can always change your program later on. The NIC online application is pretty self-explanatory, but I'm going to highlight some important aspects of the application. It's really important that you read through all of the residency questions to see if they apply to you. Once you have answered everything on this page, click Save and Continue. If you are planning on using federal financial aid, make sure to enter in your Social Security number accurately here. Make sure you answer every question that has a red asterisk by it in order to move to the next page of the application. Start here by searching for your school name and select from the drop-down menu. If you were homeschooled, check the corresponding box instead. Answer the questions and then scroll down. Please let us know if you have ever taken any other college classes, including dual credit classes at another college. You have the option to provide us with parent information and then hit Save and Continue when done. Please answer and fill out the additional information and signature page. Pay special attention to the bottom portion of the page that asks you to certify that your information is correct and to electronically sign. You will also be asked that you have followed the federal Selective Service law. For women, you do not need to register for Selective Service. If you have not registered, please click the box. For men over the age of 18, you must register for Selective Service in order to complete the application. Before you submit the application, you have the option to click Preview before submission and double-check your information. Once your application has been submitted, you will get an email confirming your application to NIC and the next steps you need to complete to start courses at NIC and become a Cardinal. If you have any questions during this process or just want to get more information, please visit www.nic.edu/cardinalcentral to see important deadlines for the upcoming fall and spring semesters. The NIC fall deadline to apply is August 13th at 5 p.m. Please reach out to NIC if you have any questions by calling 208-769-3311 or emailing cardinalcentral@nic.edu.
Welcome to Classroom Idaho, Learn at Home, a partnership of the Idaho State Board of Education, the Idaho Office for Refugees and English Language Center, Projects of Janus, and Idaho Public Television.
You're watching Idaho Public Television's Create channel.